Can we talk about the thing?
Alright, since us is down to clown, we're talking about... Since us is right now very down to clown, we're talking about the recent show that showed up on Peacock, Twisted Metal. The very unfortunate thing about that show is me and Dust tried the exact same method. We're gonna watch 2 to 3 episodes and then put it down and come back later, and then realizing, oh shit, we binge watched the whole fucking thing.
I shit you not. We were sitting there on the call earlier, fucking sitting there BSing. And sit there, like, we're talking about a little bit about Twisted Metal. It's like, yeah, no, I put it on, just sit there. I was gonna watch 2, maybe 3 episodes, and then come back to it later. And then I'm sitting there, I was like, I did that too.
And then somehow
and then I finished it that night.
like somehow, you know, just chilling, relaxing, just doing a thing, and then suddenly, by the way, oh fuck, that was like, why am I at the very end of the season? Shit. Damn it!
Oh, dude, I was literally put a pin in it, and it's like, alright, I'll stop here, and it's like, my conscious, like, I'm going to stop here was episode 9, and then it's like, then I just googled real quick, how many episodes is in fucking Twisted Metal? It's like 10, it's like, no, I'm done now, we're going now.
Like, well, crap baskets.
So, and I will say, like, the first episode, like, doesn't really give, like, the strongest impression. Like, the first episode does, like, a shit ton of world building. And I get it. They have to.
Of course. But if you miss it, you miss it. Because what they did in, like, the first episode, the base, since it opens up in a, well, car chase scene in a mall or whatever, if you notice the name of the mall, is one of the levels in Twisted Metal. There's an EV...
Actually, that's a lot!
That is a lot! Which is how...
There's a lot of shit in the fucking thing that fucking does nods and winks to shit. And for the sake of this conversation, for wanting people to go fucking watch this show, fucking, I'm gonna put a small restriction on it to, like, try to keep to, like, the first, like, 3 or 4 episodes kind of thing. Try being the operative word. We can still talk about shit.
Okay,
yeah.
fine. Try, he says.
Again, I want to talk about this, but at the same time, it's like, I want people to go watch it. It's like...
That's fair.
Yeah. So, I picked up Peacock literally just to watch Twisted Metal. And,
I mean, we have a TV in our house. It's like, oh yeah, here's all the streaming shit on this TV.
Oh,
that's
what for you?
It's usually the big TV downstairs. That's basically everybody's whatever collective accounts on the everything to watch what the fuck ever.
Yeah. Anyway, and like I priced it out, and like Peacock really isn't that bad, especially if you get like the fucking like the deal they got going, which is like $3 a month or something like that. And again, if you really don't like it, like what Peacock has or what Peacock's offering, is like, dude, just binge watch Twisted Metal and then cancel. It's all you really have to do, and you're only out maybe $5.
I think they have a free trial of Peacock and you just watch it.
Nah, mine didn't, but that's a possibility. Anyway, but yeah, the first episode fucking really didn't, like, blow my fucking wheels off, because again, a lot of it was just world building and trying to add context to a contextless story. You know, I want to fucking put that out there right now. Like, this is not an easy story to adapt. Like, if at all. Like, because, like, there's almost no canon in between different games.
Yeah, because in one game, this person actually the official win. Next game, here's the actual official winner here that appeared from the first game, but didn't somehow make it. And then they'll forget, like, there was another game that was supposed to be a prequel of a different game, and don't forget, like, the little kitty RC car version of the game.
Yeah, and which is its own reality, and then, like, there's a definite desync between, like, Twisted Metal 2, Twisted Metal 3, and 4, because by Twisted Metal 4, well, Black is its own world too, so... Because people have made an interesting argument that Black might be just a representation of Twisted Metal 1.
Possibly.
Well, again, this goes into super deep Black fucking talk, Twisted Metal variety. So... doing the minion run gets you the code cipher that gives you the fucking hint that you're inside Needles Kane's head, and this is just how he sees the world. And if you look at it from a further outside zoom, if you will, it's like, if that's true, and all this is the events of how he sees the world, and all this is going on in his head, then ergo, this would be how he could see, like, one of the tournaments. And the most likely tournament people have tried to pin it to was Twisted Metal 1.
Hell, speaking of Twisted Metal 1, in the mall scene, where in the EB Games, or Electronic Boutiques, blow up, there's actually the little Twisted Metal 1 game lands on the milkman's car. Which is hilarious.
That was pretty blatant, to be fair.
It's just right there in your face, and also for basically you sneaker buffs over there. There's also the thing, like, well, he notices that there's a Foot Locker, and the actual Jordans that he picks, the shoes he picks up are literally Jordans of that year.
Yeah. So, like, they really do go out of their way to sit there and just, like, you know, do a bunch of nods and references to this, that, and the other. And, like, the dialogue for the first episode is not great. It's passable, because, again, a lot of it's just world building.
Yep, because if you basically are looking, because most people who are watching the show have been Twisted Metal buffs, and essentially just kind of, oh yeah, I'm watching it for the, well, I wouldn't say outright lore for the story, or it's more or less for the, here's the notable thing in the background that I kind of got my attention for, like the little tricks and tips of what's going on.
But,
yeah, the Easter eggs, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Easter eggs is kind of where you're going with that.
I'm kind of distracted by
And
fighting.
then, like, there's several episodes, like, towards the end of the series, like, I want to say around 6 to 8, fucking, where it's like, you know, if you know, like, your fucking Twisted Metal lore is, like, it is just jammed full of fucking, like, things. It's like, oh my god, they brought back this, they brought back that. It's like, holy shit, it's like, I never thought they'd reference that again.
Right? Or for me, it's more like hearing these characters' names, like, oh my god, I know this person's name. I know who you is. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, alright, so, again, I sit there and I put kind of a cap on it, but it's like one of the characters I legitimately didn't think they would ever reference again, because it's kind of a controversial hot take. Shock.
Petunia?
No, drag queen.
Petunia.
Well, in the game, she's known as drag queen.
The driver of the drag queen is the name of the car. Their name is Petunia.
Not from Twisted Metal 4, I can tell you that. I'm dead serious. Oh, hold on. I'll look this up. I'm about 90% sure on this one. Her name was Drag Queen in the game.
The car was called Drag Queen.
No, there's never been a car called Drag Queen.
CEO of Howard Connection and Emperor of Southtown. He's a martial arts nightmare.
Well, okay, I'm wrong on the fucking car being called a drag queen, but stand by.
What was the car called, Das?
Ready?
I just said it wasn't. Hold on. Let me look this up. What is her actual name?
Cannot remember for the life of me.
No, fucking. Well, you're sort of right on the name.
Okay, what was the name?
Well, her name, quote unquote, I don't know how to fucking.
Just stick with the her name.
Yeah, I'm not getting into all that.
Or just say their name. Their name.
Sure, we're gonna go with their name.
Keep it neutral.
Yes, Dennis Flanders.
Yes, Dennis Flanders.
But her nickname is Petunia. Called it.
Yeah, fuck it, we'll just name... Character names are kind of okay, but plot points are out of the question. Pizza Boy was there. My guy, Pizza Boy.
Oh yeah, no, they even brought back the puffy jacket, which fucking, that blew my mind away. It's like, really?
Pizza Boy, the puffy jacket, I love that. Friggin' Pit Viper was there. I haven't seen her in fucking forever.
Well, since Twisted Metal 1.
Yeah, I'm glad someone got that. Mr. Slam is not the nerdy guy. He wasn't the nerdy guy that we thought were expected from Mr. Slam.
God.
It was the second.
Slam.
It was
Mr.
the
Slam is. I don't know if I'm happy with Mr. Slam or fucking sad at Mr. Slam.
No. Mr. Slam was the second driver of that. Who they have is the second driver of the rig.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the second guy that was the construction worker versus the architect.
Mm-hmm.
That was the nerdy guy. Bloody Mary was there.
Yeah, but they redesigned Bloody Mary pretty hard, fucking, where you kind of had to fucking think about it.
You had to think about it until they notice that say character names. You kind of won't know who is who altogether, because John Doe being basically the Falcon versus actually being who he was in Twisted Metal Black.
Well, he is never the Falcon. I mean, yes, he plays the Falcon in the MCU, but yes, for the context, he is never the Falcon in the game in Twisted Metal.
Yeah,
Fucking, he is a very complete and different character.
just like Agent Stone. He's not a FBI agent or a secret agent. He's a straight up law dog.
Well, there was it Stone or
Agent Stone.
no? Hold on,
You're talking about the twins?
no, not the twins. The other one, the main guy.
Milkman. Well, John Doe.
No, the main bad guy.
Agent Stone.
I don't think he's Agent. Hold on, I'm gonna
Well-
look up the cast real quick.
Yeah, he's Agent Stone. He's technically the main antagonist of this Twisted Metal iteration versus Sweet Tooth, who's actually just he's not
Sweet Tooth. Oh, it is Agent Stone. Okay.
yeah, and then his his lieutenant or whatever, he was the previous one that was
Okay, no, because I'm getting confused with Officer Stone, and Officer Stone is from Black.
yeah, because they went from Agent Stone to Officer Stone, and he's actually because that's where his SUV is actually modeled from Twisted Metal Black. He's using the actual proper outlaw version of that. Versus
Yeah,
like
that's
him
right.
being
This
Agent.
is what kind of fucked with me a little bit. So,
Because his basically his second in command. He was also a character in Twisted Metal. He was also an
Yes.
agent. I can't remember his
the
name.
second in command was Agent something. In the Twisted Metal lore, he's Agent something, but then they flipped it in this one to where it's Agent Stone and then it's Officer something.
Well, he does correct them in the actual series. Like Officer Stone. Like actually, it's Agent. Yeah, like okay. He corrected them in the in the series when they got captured.
Okay, so
one of the times they get captured.
Lore, yeah. In the original lore, fucking, it was Officer Stone. So here go Twisted Metal. Take your pick on which one you want to go with on that one.
Because it's Twist. And then
I
basically,
used to go with Black because that's the one I like. Anyway.
You always go with the one you like. That's why I keep telling your bias is just poking his head out, DOS.
And anyway, but Agent Shepard, which I believe is actually they say it's Agent Shepard in here, but I don't think that's right. Like, I don't think they might call him Agent at one point, but it's like it definitely comes across as Officer Shepard. But anyway.
Well, he does correct them at one point and say like, oh, like Officer, actually it's Agent. Oh, yeah, Agent Shepard's there. Officer Stone. Well, Stone's there. The cop twins are there.
Yeah, which that one kind of took me a half second to recognize. Like, and I love they reuse like a fucking earlier joke from that. I was like, I know what sister means.
I know. Oh, right. Loud and Quiet is in there for a hot second. Then Quiet is kind of there with John Doe. Granny Dread. Like, I was so happy.
That was a fucking weird cut.
I was like, I'm looking at this old lady. I'm like, is that Granny Dread? And they're like, oh yeah, and then Granny Dread. Like, yes, it is Granny.
Oh my god, like, they brought her back.
They brought Grandma back. Fuck yeah.
But anyway,
Twister's there.
Yeah.
Flower Power.
I kept looking for like Darkseid. Darkseid didn't show up properly.
Well,
properly being the operative word.
Well, technically, Darkseid and the Juggernaut was there because they're basically Darkseid is the rig, Juggernaut's with the trailer.
Yeah, and I'm aware of that. Just the fact, like, they didn't have anybody who. Well,
because the person who normally drives
Dollface at the very end.
Yeah, because Dollface is usually driving the Darkseid and Juggernaut because that's usually her thing.
Right, but then at the same time, I was like, well, there's been other drivers to Darkseid. One of them's been fucking, Minion, actually, I think.
Minion at one point. I think Sweet Tooth had his go in using Darkseid at one point.
That's only in the fucking 2013.
Yeah.
Which I don't really count fucking any kind of connection to the drivers at that point.
Oh, and yeah, because you could change drivers and cars a lot.
Yeah.
As well as the Preacher.
Yeah, Preacher came back.
Preacher came back.
But anyway, let's get off characters, because again, I don't want to spoil everything.
No. Stu and Mike, I'm like, oh shit, the goofballs are here, and...
Oh, I didn't even recognize them for the longest time. That's like, because I really didn't play 1 and 2, though.
I picked up on it, I was kind of hoping they would show up in their friggin' monster truck, friggin' Hammerhead. I'm like, no. But there's a Hammerhead reference when they go into Stone's backstory.
Yeah.
As well as, like, the RC car version of Twisted Metal, so there's your canon there.
I saw that. Yeah, because that's literally a nod to Small Brawl. Anyway, alright, getting off that for a little bit, so...
I'm sorry, I'm going down the rabbit hole.
Getting away from the characters again, it's like, don't want to spoil everything.
Calypso's there. Calypso is real! Believe in Calypso!
They don't go into Calypso, though, so you really can't go that far into it.
I mean, just from is one notable thing, like, this man kind of does sound like Calypso, not gonna lie. As well as
I don't know. I thought they could have put a little bit more sneer into it, but that's me. Like, I mean, I kind of figure half of like everything that Calypso says is half sneer.
It is well, it's basically his voice variety sounds like from basically 1 and 2, well 1 through 3.
Right, but it's like the Calypso I really kind of remember is from 3 and 4, and I know that's quote unquote the bad games, but it's like that's also the ones I played the most, so I don't know what to tell you on that one.
Select order.
Anyway, so getting off that, going back to the story beats a little bit. Again, we're not gonna go into full depth on this because again, it's like it's fairly new and I want people to watch this. And it's like, so don't get put off by episode 1. Fucking episode 2 makes up for it and a half, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because episode 2 fucking brings in Sweet Tooth properly. And oh my
okay, so
God.
I see. Yeah, Dawson's ugly bias is rearing its ugly head, guys.
100%.
I
don't even fucking care. Oh my God! Like I was kind of worried they were gonna fucking fuck Sweet Tooth up in this.
Oh, they fucked him up, fam.
They did. Fucking oh my God! It's like Sweet Tooth is the best written character in that entire show.
Biased opinion or non-biased?
Hey, is this guy sleeping?
Yes.
Okay, so Dawson's biased opinion. He thinks Sweet Tooth is the best character in that series.
Well, okay. To be fair, they had to fucking take 2 characters to make 1 character, alright? I'm just saying.
Round 1.
So, like, for those not in the know, for those that actually care, fucking, so there was nobody who matched the voice and physicality of Sweet Tooth. So what they did is they split him in half, basically. It's like, they have, Samoan Joe as the body of Sweet Tooth. I want to say it's Dave Arnett.
I think it's Dave Arnett's the voice of Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, who's the voice of Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, because Samoan Joe, his voice is kind of deep.
Yeah. Oh my fucking God, do they fucking put on a fucking great fucking performance. Like, the entire time, I'm fucking glued to the screen because fucking Sweet Tooth's on screen. And, like...
Yes, Dawson's favorite character.
They kind of smashed Sweet Tooth together, like, out of a couple different combinations. So, like, he's not nearly as fucking dark and bleak as Black. Which, to be fair, if they actually made Sweet Tooth that dark and bleak, it would almost be unwatchable because the entire show would literally just be a fucking gore fest. It would be Saw on wheels.
Basically a horror movie, like that one part in the other part of the thing at the end. That was basically a slasher flick kind of sting there.
The one part and the one thing.
Where we thought he was dead at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah! I was like, that's some horror movie shit at the end there. I'm like, oh, well, he's gone. Goodbye, Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, there's a semi, like, after fucking
After credits
after
scene.
show fucking like
After credits
Easter
Marvel
egg,
style bullshit.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is some horror movie shit. Like, oh no, he's dead. Goodbye.
But he's not.
Surprise!
So yeah, fucking oh my fucking god, like, and like they just leaned into like the full happy crazy fucking I'm a killer clown fucking mentality of this, and it just worked so well. And you want to talk about deep cuts? Can we talk about fucking Harold?
Harold, the wonderful mystery bag.
Yes. Oh my fucking god. Do you know where that comes from?
Twisted Metal 1, dude. Well, 2 technically, because that's what he
No,
wanted.
actually. Alright, so for those that know, those that don't know, those that don't care, fucking I'd fucking highly sit there and I'm gonna have to fucking give a nod to fucking Tactical Bacon Productions, because they did a fucking whole rundown of like everybody's endings, and this is where I found out about it. So Twisted Metal 1 actually had visual endings.
Yeah,
and they were fucking,
the
like,
lost
some of the...
endings, right?
Yes,
and Sweet Tooth's
it's
ending,
from
he
the lost endings.
Sweet Tooth just wanted Harold, the magical, I think it was the wonderful lunch bag or the magical lunch bag, one or the other.
Yeah, something like that.
That's all he wanted. That's all, nothing else.
Yeah, and Glyph was like, yeah, no, like you could have anything. It's literally a wish for whatever your heart most desires. I want Harold, I want my friend back. You can buy this anywhere, but this one I know. It's like, oh my fucking god, this is the best thing ever.
like, yeah, he just wants that one thing. Like, not even a magical version of it that just kind of keeps throwing out, you know, more stuff. Just the. I'm like, okay, cool, all right. Cliff was like, all right, cool, all right, bro.
Yeah. So this is a straight up fucking reference to the lost endings that never even made it to the game. Like that, those didn't come out until Twisted Metal Head On, and those were just extra features they threw on the disc.
Right.
Like, yeah, these weren't good enough for the game, so we didn't use them.
Hell, don't forget, Pizza Boy is also a reference to how Twisted Metal was originally going to be a pizza delivery simulator, but they scrapped that because they prefer it to be what it is now.
Kind of.
It was.
Pizza Boy is also a fucking character too, so I really don't
he was the reference to like how original production was going to plan it, and like, yeah, here's your joke here. No.
That one seems kind of a reach for me. I see what you're saying, but I can't say I agree with it. But again, everybody's a lot of interpretation, so.
What you're trying to say is I'm wrong, DOS. I know you
really won't. Like, okay, so in the Twisted Metal show, there's actually a reference to like whenever what's his nuts, John Doe orders a pizza, and somebody was saying like that's a reference to that, like Twisted Metal originally being a pizza game.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, no, he just ordered a fucking pizza. That's normal.
No, well, that's not the reference to the pizza delivery guy. I'm talking about actual character Pizza Boy.
Yeah, and like, to me, like, I get what you're saying, I don't agree with it at all. We can both look at something and not see the same thing. It's fine. I don't see Pizza Boy as a reference to the original pizza game. I see
the original concept.
Yeah, I see Pizza Boy as a character that they came up with when they were trying to make new characters. That's all I really see, but that's me, you know what I mean?
Yes, and you're biased towards Needles Kane, Sweet Tooth, going off hinges and whatnot.
Oh, that doesn't come till way fucking later. It's like, we can't even talk about the ending of that fucking show, because, oh my fucking god, I love the way it ended. Like, I will say, like, if while you're watching it in the back of your mind, they're like, God, there's a lot of car combat in the fucking, like, show about car combat. It's like, wait till the last episode, we got you.
Don't worry, fam, we got you. And then here's your little extra tidbit at the end.
Like I said,
believe in Calypso, yeah. Calypso is real.
Yeah, and it's like, and I love the fact that, like, the development team who actually did this is like fucking,
he's a
like,
fan of Twisted Metal. He's played. I'm like, oh, I love it. Makes me happy already.
Well, there's that. The other one I'm kind of getting at too, though, is So they already teased a few different characters that they want to fucking bring in for the next season, assuming it gets the second season. And dear God, I hope it gets the second season because I really enjoyed this one.
Fuck yeah.
Because for me, like, they teased one of my personal favorite characters, which is Mr. Brick.
You're biased.
High damage, high speed, no armor.
They teach one of my guys Axel. I'm like, okay, how are they going to do Axel?
Yeah, okay, and this is what I was actually getting to. Fucking, even the production team is like, yeah, we don't know how we're gonna do Axel.
Because this man basically has
like,
monster.
Axel is a ridiculous character, and it's like, I don't even know how you do Axel proper.
Yeah, because literally this man is suspended between two giant-ass monster truck wheels. Hell, in Twisted Metal Black, I want to say, his wheels actually close in and gives him his high defense in that game.
I don't remember that, but
I forget, like, yeah, because like I forget which Twisted Metal game it was, because the two wheels actually close in and just kind of encase him, and the spikes just come out, and he's just rolling over everything. He can't be really hit in that.
I think that's a special act. I don't think that's a defensive option. I think
no, his special was a shockwave that came from underneath him.
I understand what you're saying. I'm saying, like, I think his special swapped out once, and I think that's where the tire came from.
Yeah, because like in that game, I know he still has both of those.
Oh, it might have been one. It might have been black, but I think that was the special you had to put in with a code or something like that, like hold down or some crap like that.
I don't think so. Oh, speaking of codes, in the freaking in the show, his ass puts in the code for invincibility. For temporary invincibility for the game. Like, you motherfucker, I see that shit.
Select order.
Took me a minute, like, what is he putting in? Like, what is he doing? Like, wait a minute, that looks like a very important code. You cheeky son of a bitch. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Apparently it was fucking Twisted Metal 2.
Some kind of monster
For the shockwave or for the tires?
For an axle only, more damage, and it was a ramming one.
Oh,
So
that was his rocket dash.
But yeah, it was code only, and it only works on axle. And now when Axel runs into something, it will do a large amount of damage.
Didn't know that. I am a little disappointed I didn't get to see Grasshopper.
Ready? Go!
Yeah, I mean, you got fucking Pit Viper back, which is more fucking Grasshopper, to be fair.
I mean, Pit Viper's special wasn't exactly like Grasshopper's, because Grasshopper's literally, it jumps on you.
But Pit Viper was Grasshopper up until a Grasshopper replaced him.
Yeah. Yeah,
and granted, Pit Viper's only ever been in the first game.
Yeah, and then never, and then most of these characters kind of got written off. Got towed.
But yeah, so like the first episode, like I said, is like a lot of introduction. The second episode is pretty much like the introduction to Sweet Tooth, and it's like, oh my god, they give that man such a fucking episode, and I fucking adore it.
The fact that they played Cisco's The Thong Song is hilarious to me.
Right? But then the third episode, which I want to say that's the that's when they get detained at the dam. And that one actually gets you like that was the tipping point for me, where it's like, I don't know about this. It's like I really like the Sweet Tooth episode, but it's like I wasn't sure how I felt about series as a whole. But the damn episode's what sold me, is because in that one they go into Agent Stone's background.
Yeah. And basically it's the DMV, which was hilarious. I'm like, this is this is just horrible for this shit. Like, oh, do you have your ORL? Did you just ask me for oral? That joke was hilarious. Like, I was dying. I'm like, oh, it's almost does spell oral, and that is the acronym for it. Oh, I hate it. No, your ORL. Your open
over the road license.
Yeah, your open road license. Oh. Huh. Like, it was just so weird and goofy. I'm like, oh my god. And then they had friggin' Lou and Mike there. I'm like, oh my god, the goofballs.
Yeah. So, and I think that brings up a pretty good point. So, some people have gone on record like saying, like, you know, this is kind of an atrocity of Twisted Metal, and I kind
Twisted Metal in itself is an atrocity. The hell are you talking about?
Well, they're compared to like the dark writing and stuff like that. It's like, you know, they want it to be a lot more hardcore, dark, and edgy. So there's like, that really wasn't Twisted Metal until Black.
I mean, unless you want to count some of the lost files or videos and stuff, part of the actual Twisted Metal series.
Well, yeah, but
because the stuff they put in.
You can count them, but at the same time, it's like the developers themselves removed that because they thought it didn't fit right or it didn't look right, so they scrapped the whole thing.
Pretty much.
So I would sit there and argue, is like, you can only tentatively really talk about that because, like, even the developers removed them.
Mm-hmm.
So ergo, it was like, you know, you're back to, like, you know, yeah, fucking, there's still blood, death, and mayhem in the Twisted Metal verse, but it was like, it was nowhere near the levels of Black until Black.
Mm-hmm. So them complaining like, oh man, this... Wait, were they complaining, was it too gory or not gory enough?
Not gory enough, not fucking dark enough, didn't have as serious of a tone, and I'm sitting there like, looking at all this is like, you all play Black.
Yeah.
That is what happened.
Yeah, because as their first season goes, they are doing well. They're doing very well and decent for basically for what they have, and at least the people on the development team have played or is a fan of the early Twisted Metal series before going into Twisted Metal Black.
I would argue, yeah, they're definitely a fan of, like, you know, 1 through 4, and they've made nods and references to other shit. Like, I mean, Outlaw's fucking backstory is very similar to his backstory from Black.
Yep.
The Preacher's backstory is very similar to the story from Black.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Tooth kind of went in his own angle because Sweet Tooth's story in Black, and as well as 2013, which is kind of a continuation of that, is a lot fucking darker, and they don't even touch that thing.
Yeah.
But in this one, they gave him his own different, like, you know, canon story of events, and honestly, I kind of like it almost more than what fucking Black and fucking 2013 gave us.
So yeah, I don't see... Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck are they complaining about?
Well, like, the first major thing that a lot of people have been talking about is, like, you know, the writing for the jokes. And it's like, it's supposed to be a comedy, a dark comedy for the most part. Which is kind of what... Which is kind of what Twisted Metal's always been up until Black.
Mm-hmm.
After Black, and then Head On in 2013, which is just Twisted Metal, that's why I keep calling it just 2013. Which is all in... I wouldn't say they're in the same universe, but they all share the same tone. But they're saying it's like, it should have been darker, and this, that, and the other, and it's like, the writing's kind of hokey. It's like, oh, it's a lot more fucking jokey and juxtaposed than it's like, you know, we'd seen from something like Black. And it's like, yeah, because a lot of this was before Black.
Yeah. Hell, the fact that they even made a notoriety to, most people call it the reject bar, where we saw all the extra characters, and some says it's a forgotten bar of like forgotten bar, the misfit characters, like people who don't even know who the hell these characters are, like friggin' Pizza Boy, Petunia, Mr. Slam, Bloody Mary, like them sitting over there.
I was naming out people, was like, I know that guy, I know that guy.
Hey, I know you assholes. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh, are we?
I'm waiting on you, man. You just need to hit buttons on your end.
Carry on.
Sorry.
Yep.
そこに葛藤はあったのかしら。
そうだね。僕からすれば知らないご先祖様より知ってる身内の方が大事だったって感じかな。